Hi, everybody. This is Eugene. We're going to our Flip-a-Clip demo today. Today, we're going to show you a comic or cartoon head turning. So watch this video and you can see how the lines begin in the middle and then slowly the face starts to evolve. So the top of the head and then the eyebrows and eyes, part of the nose. You can see the mouth and cheeks and chin. Now that is 15 frames to get this far. Then another 4 or 5 frames. So now we're at number 20 and we have the shoulders. So the first 20 frames are building the head and neck and shoulders. And then we'll start to proceed all the way up to about number 29. So 9 more frames before it starts to turn. Now it's turning every frame just a little bit. So now you've got this turn that's going to take you up to, well, we're at 41 frames right there. And then we've added about 6 more. So 46 total. 46 frames. Now let's go ahead and let's create a new demo. So we're going to say head turn demo. There we go. And let's create our project. Okay, so I am going to make my screen just a little bit bigger. And my very first frame is just going to have the top of the head. Now I'm going to add the top of the head again. So remember, you always have to redraw what you just drew. And now I'm going to add a couple of lines for the side. Do the same thing here. And the cool thing about Flip-a-Clip is that you can see what you previously drew so that you can match the lines up. And you can see each time I draw just a little bit more. There we go. So I'm still drawing the head, part of the ears. I am not trying to be too perfect. I want to have fun with this. And I'm really making sure that my lines stay consistent each time. I'm on frame number 6 already. And the cool thing about doing something like this, what I've noticed, is that you can start out really loose in the beginning and then gradually start to firm up your idea and your drawing and start to really get it, just a little bit stronger, more detailed. And it looks cool in the animation when you do that. So I'm going to bring this up even a little bit bigger because that way I'll be able to see what I did underneath just a little bit better. And by bringing it up a little bit bigger on my screen, it helps me to be able to perhaps work a little bit more in detail as I'm starting to evolve my drawing. Here's the ears. Top lip, bottom lip. There we go. That's number 7. And it's probably a good idea to sort of work out some of these drawings on paper before you actually go into your flip a clip idea, just so that maybe you can go through 20 quick drawings on your own, to just have the feeling of, well, how do I want this to look? So the fact that, I've done one of these already is helping me right now in terms of, deciding how I'm going to go about this. So the reason why I say, do the little studies is because I've noticed when people do that, the difference that happens in their work. Okay, so even though it looks like I've been doing a lot here, as you know, 8 frames is very short. So let's watch it. Goes really fast. All right, so we're on the right track. Number 9 frame. And don't forget, when I'm doing demos, because I don't want you guys to watch a super long demo, I try and speed it up a little bit. So the thing that I try and say to you guys, even on our first class when we did the ball bouncing, I did the demo and then I said, you're going to be able to spend a lot longer on this because you're going to have, several days as opposed to 15 or 20 minutes that I'm spending. So when you have a little bit longer, you really can devote more concentration, more attention to detail. Now we're on number 10. By the way, I notice when I do something like this, as opposed to a ball bouncing, because a ball is just a rounded form and it's a little easier to do in repetition when you're doing a face. I mean, think about it. You've got hair, you've got the features, and you have the neck if you're going to do the neck and the shoulders and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely more time consuming. Notice I'm really starting to bring this in a little bit and make my drawing larger on the screen. And here I am doing the neck and shoulders. Now, I don't really have any clothing defined in mind. That doesn't mean that you can't. And I don't want your drawing to look like mine. So I want you to come up with a comic or cartoon character. And I'll tell you, just like that ball, being a simpler object to draw in repetition. You can do that with your character. You don't have to get super, super detailed. Come up with something that's fun. It's a little bit simplistic. And that way you can draw it a little bit faster and it's not as laborious. All right, I'm on frame number 11. All right. And just to have, a split second of a portion of this, drawing several frames of the same thing, which is what I'm doing right now, it will mean that the viewer that's watching this, it's going to see what's happening a little bit easier. So if you only do one frame of something, it's just going to be a blip on the radar and no one's going to see it. So you almost have to, repeat the drawing a number of times. All right, so I'm at number 12. Again, I think we're going to go up to almost 20 with this looking the way it does. We'll just add a little bit more detail each time. Wrinkles in the forehead. Start adding some value into the hair. There's the ear. So one of the things you can do before you do this is figure out how your character is going to look. So decide how those features are going to go. And then that way, you'll be familiar with those before you have to go through all this repetition. A little bit of shadow under there, under the chin. Cool. I like doing this. It's fun. It's fun to think about all the variations that go into it. Let's watch it. There we go. Not bad. All right. So I'm not going to do 49 for my demo. I'm going to start turning this right now. So I'm going to start with the nose, and we're going to have to do more of a 3/4 view. That means that we're going to see more of this side of the nose and a little bit less on the other side. And we're going to have the philtrum here, and the lips are going to be moved over, and we're going to see more on this side, less on this side. Same thing with the bottom lip, more on one side, less on the other. With the eyes, we're going to be bringing the skull in like this. less of the ear. Eventually, we won't even see that side of the ear. And we're going to have more of the hair on the back of the head back here. All right. And we're going to see a little bit more of the side of the neck. And notice I'm bringing the one side of the neck down quite a bit from the last time that I drew. So even if we watch it thus far, you can see how it's just starting to turn. And don't forget Dunkin' Donuts. There we go. So this is probably the tough part now, is trying to figure out how much to draw for each frame that's going to be slightly different. So now you're really starting to evolve this thing. And again, if you're going to make something look like it's turning, then the side of the face that's further away from us is what we're going to see a little less of. Less of the ear, less of the hair. There we go. All right, let's watch it. Just starting to turn. I think by this frame, I don't see the ear on that side anymore. Let's see. I like it. So I'm up to number 15. This is number 16. So I'm doing half the amount of drawings that I want you guys to do, because I really want you to make this have a really nice appearance for the viewer. And so I do think if you can get closer to 48 to 50, I think you're going to notice a difference in the way that it reads. Remember, last time we did the bouncing ball, we figured out that 41 or so 41 or so frames gives you about 3 seconds. So this is definitely going to be similar to that. Maybe just a teeny, maybe 4 seconds. And if you hear something loud in the background, it's just my dog barking. There we go. All right, guys. I'm going to end this wonderful demo, and I appreciate you checking out my demo. I hope you come up with a really great head turn.